Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning. Yes, again, as with every beginning of every call that we have here within Master Your Mind, the reminder that we get to choose. Remember, we always have a choice. Again, write that in your notes right now. I always have a choice. I always have a choice. You always have a choice. And what is that choice? It's the choice of thought to give meaning to things. Remember, everything is fundamentally meaningless. Nothing is good or bad. It's our thinking that makes it so. And it's you in your world that gets to determine what things mean. And when you grab onto that power and harness it, employ it, you know what changes? Your outcomes. Now, why is that the case? Well, it's very simple. You become how you're thinking most of the time. See, the ideas that you connect with, what you perceive to be true about whatever it is, leads you on to a specific vibratory state. That's a frequency. And that frequency, whatever it is the attractive force in your life. It determines everything that you see, what you do. It also determines what and who is attracted to you. Now, circle around to this and really dive into what I'm saying here. I'm saying that you have within you this incredible power to change the outcomes of your life if you'll just use that power. That hidden power is what Thomas Troward refers to in his book, The Hidden Power. But guess who has to do that in your life? It's you. It's always going to be you. It's always been you, and it's always there. And this is what we're hoping that you get as you dive into these study calls with us, of which we're currently studying The Master Key System by Charles Haanel. This beautiful gem. Oh my God, I'm so grateful for Charles Haanel writing it. This gem here has opened up so much for me in my life, and I'm certain that it's opened a lot for you in your life too as well. You know what I'm talking about. As we dive into it, you're starting to see some profound truths about the essence of you and how your marvelous, miraculous, incredible, powerful mind works. And through that use, that implementation, you've been noticing some changes in you, haven't you? Yes, you have. And it's quite beautiful, isn't it? So, with that being said, make sure that you do have a copy of this if you don't have one right now. And if you would like this exact copy that we have, it's available on other platforms as well. But just do a search for it, and from there you'll find it. Or just reach out to us and we'll send you a link on how to get it. All right? So, with that being said, also make sure that you have a goal card with you. This here is an incredible tool. With that being said, I will again say to you, it's not about the goal card. It's not about the vision board. It's not about the affirmations. We don't manifest these things. What we manifest is how we feel about these things. Did you catch that? What you manifest is how you feel about whatever it is that you would love to happen in your life, provided you do love it. And see, this is where these calls come into play to help to remind you of that so that you can deliver the outcomes that you seek for your life. All right, so shall we dive into this? Shall we go into this beautiful work? Yes, we shall. So let's do this. Here we go. Go ahead and pull this up. And here we're going to talk about what we talked about in the last session. Again, this is page 251. And here is what's said. Thought, immaterial though it may be, is the matrix that shapes the issues of life. The mind has been active in all fields during this fruitful century, but it is to the science we must look for the thoughts that have shaped all thinking. Now, here again is the important truth, the important principle that you've got to grab onto. And that is that this invisible power, and isn't that cool how it ties into a book by Genevieve Behrend that we studied? Your Invisible Power. Oh my gosh, beautiful book. But it ties into understanding that the invisible power of thought, remember, it's not something that you can see, it's something that happens in your mind. So, as invisible as it is, it's the origin of the conditions of life. The origin. Remember, thought externalizes itself. We become how we're thinking most of the time. How we're thinking, meaning the way that we're thinking, what we believe to be true, the habits we have. See, that's what shows up in the outer world. So here, with regards to what's being referred to as science, it's important to know that while science has explored this, and we're all seeing this here, it reveals that consciousness is where it's at, that mind in motion through science has been the discovery that has helped many people to see that they can change their results in their life. And this, again, is what we're hoping that you see for you. So let's read this one more time. Thought, immaterial though it may be, remember, it's in the ether, it's intelligent. Wallace Wattles refers to it as the thinking substance that permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. So immaterial as it may be is the matrix that shapes the issues of your life, of my life, of all of our lives. The mind has been active in all fields during this fruitful century, for centuries, many centuries actually. But it is to science we must look for the thoughts that have shaped all thinking. This is why I love The Science of Getting Rich so much. The title's so beautiful. There is a science to getting rich. There is a science to wealth, prosperity, abundance, success, happiness, joy. And if you will tap into that and apply it in your life, guess what will change? Your results in exact proportion to the implementation of what you've discovered through the science. Now let's go further, part 15. This part explains the law of growth and explains why we cannot obtain if we tenaciously cling to what we have. And that difficulties, inharmonies, and obstacles indicate that we are either refusing to give up what we no longer need or refusing to accept what we require. We're holding on to worn out and useless material. And remember, the material he's talking about is the thought pattern. Or we are allowing a deficiency to exist and are not obtaining the material necessary for our growth. Now, I want to point out something extremely important in this beginning sentence, which is a long one, but it's definitely impactful if you grab onto it and use it. Remember, you're never going to be able to get what you want if you're focusing from what you don't want. Many people who want change don't understand that in order to receive change, they've got to let go of what's in them at this present moment. But see, isn't it interesting how most people, when it comes to wanting to release their problems, they don't release them. Why? Because all they do is talk about them. You know what I'm talking about. You've heard it before. Maybe you've fallen into that trap. You talk about your problems, but it feels good. No, it doesn't. What it does is it reinforces that narrative of the problem. See, that's giving attention to something. That's loving something. Wow, did you catch that one? And whatever you love, which is what you're connected to in terms of the idea, that's how you're thinking. And guess what? That's what you manifest. So don't talk about your problems. Don't talk about what's wrong. Yes, you can identify those things so you know where you're moving from, but don't give them your connection unless you want more of it. And do you want more of that? No, you don't. And see, that's what he's talking about here. He's talking about the importance of understanding that you must let go in order for you to move forward. Write this in your notes. Always move forward. Always move forward. You don't have to take two steps back as what's been shared by the personal development world. You don't. If you do that, it's just because you have a habit of doing that. No, what you need to do is pivot from where you are and then go. But don't take steps back. Always move forward. So here, in addition to that, it's important that you do not tenaciously cling to what you have. Don't allow the things that are around you, even if they're good, to control you, to own you. And remember, you're the one that owns them. And again, what's beautiful about living that way is when you do that, you end up feeling free. And you also attract into your life a lot more of the good that's out there. Now, again, really grab onto what I'm saying here. There's a principle here. Bob Proctor would frequently talk about how important it is for you, me, for all of us to let go of things so that the new can come in. Just think of it this way. See, like you have a picture on the wall, a painting, and it's taking space on that wall. Something new cannot take that space until that painting comes down. Which leads to one of the quickest ways for you to change what's on the wall is just remove what's there so that the new can come in. But see, isn't it interesting how because we have habit in us, it's a very difficult thing to do. See, that's a paradigm. But if you will step into that power and override it and consent to something new, it will lead to the change that you seek much sooner rather than later. Now, let's